All right, we're live. Hello, Maree, my co-host. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm great, Elisa. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Always excited to do these shows. How are things in Australia?
Yeah, it's sort of the calm after the storm of the election, but they're finding more and more stuff that's gone on. But they're still counting Senate votes, so it looks promising for our independence, our freedom fighters. There's more and more sort of coming through. It's going to take time, I think, for that to really become a really impactful thing. But it definitely is going to change the way things are done, which is good in politics. So yeah, but otherwise, finally, I was just saying, guys, hi guys, to Elisa, that first time in like 8 days we've had blue sky and sunshine. It's been horrific. We've just had this weather that's unbelievable. So yeah, I'm just in joy today with all this sunshine. So yeah, and Jasper says hello, Elisa, and to everyone.
Oh, yay!
We can't forget him today.
No, 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 no. Absolutely. We're going to be asking him questions today.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because he really enhances how I see things. So I think that'll be really useful today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good, good. Did you see the topic?
I did. I looked at it, I think yesterday afternoon. I saw it because I was putting it out to people, and I went, "Oh, this is going to be interesting."
And it's funny. I was kind of drawn there a while back, but
Yeah,
this time I was like, okay, we haven't revisited this one. And I was like, no, that's so negative. And then the other side of me was like, no, but we need to talk about it. And I was like,
yeah.
fine. Um, yeah.
I agree. And, I've always had questions around this, obviously being in the medical arena for such a long time. And because we've been told so many lies about everything, even with the virus, I'm like, but is it how they've told us it is? Is that what it is? And I've really been questioning that. And, I've got people that are immunologists friends, but, and for them, this is like, that's their hard and fast rule, is how they've been taught it. So
Big
it's
time.
big paradigm, isn't it, this one?
Yeah. 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 Big time. Big time. So this has to do with Ancient Aliens episode, season 3, episode 7. And it's talking about the way that it hints on the title is basically that our plagues and viruses, diseases connected with ETs. And the reason why they make this connection is because back in the days of the plague and the Spanish flu and all these things, they always had seen either UFOs flying around right before it happened,
Mm.
or in the case of what was it? It's not the Justinian plague. Um, there was a mysterious figure spraying something in the air, and these figures had hoodies on, and that's where the Grim Reaper came from.
Ah,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I
So
didn't
it
know
was,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, and I can tell that Dennis saw the show because the question he asked, I already have it here. Um, so the first thing that they talk about is about the Spanish flu. And it happened right after the appearance of Fatima, of the 3 children in Fatima. And I don't know if you remember, they saw a disc flying
That's right.
when they
Yep.
heard this, what they heard, right? The messages. So, oh my goodness, hold on. We have a crazy person. Okay. So was the Spanish flu brought
Mm.
by aliens after the appearance at Fatima? So was it?
Due to that appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's just have a little look there. Right. Yeah, and it was also after the war, wasn't it? The Spanish flu was actually after the war, from
Oh,
my
I
memory.
I
Yeah.
am not very well versed on history stuff.
So, well, as far as from what I read, it was just after the war. So we've got the Nine of Wands. Now it's a big journey. There's been something that's gone on, and the Tower card together. So this was huge. So that's why I asked if it was after the war, because I think it was. I think people were already quite traumatized and quite vulnerable. And then this Tower card came up. And so if we're looking at that Fatima thing, it's the Hierophant card has come up. Now, this is someone that is, it can be really, really good card, or it can be a card where someone's in control and authorizing something. So I feel that there was something that was brought in, if that makes sense. Something was authorized to be brought in. And I'm not getting that it was actually to do with that, the wheel, because we've got it was like a new virus. But whether it came from the wheel, the Fatima, it's not showing up as that. It's just showing how destructive it was, and that it was something that was new, that was released basically onto the earth. So
Okay.
I'm going to ask for a yes, no question about the wheel, but my feeling with that is that it wasn't to do with that. So no, I feel it was something else, someone else, very powerful, because we've got our King of Swords. And it was something that was actually decided about, thought about to create more chaos, because we've got our
Okay.
Three of Swords. So it didn't feel like it was coming from that, but it was definitely introduced, new.
Okay. So let's talk about whether it was
Mm,
um, introduced by extraterrestrials, not from
mm,
here,
yeah, yeah,
because it could be like in the case of the last thing that we went through. I don't want to say the name. That was done by humans, so
yeah,
it could have been humans at that time, but you know let's see if it was
yeah.
ETs at that time.
And it could have been the technology that they had as well. Oh, that actually created it. Now those two have jumped out. Let's see what that is. So yeah, we've got our Three of Pentacles, which is planning something. It's a mission. It's something that's being organized. And our King of Pentacles, so someone that has the ability to create something. So as I was talking about the technology from our other worlders, our off-worlders, it was these came through, and then our Queen of Wands has just come up. Now she's someone that is trustworthy, intuitive, whatever. So it's telling me that that could very well be the possibility, the reason why. So you just, even the wisdom with like knowing how to manipulate virus DNA, how to manipulate things so that they work. So sorry, I've just dropped some cards. There we go.
Interesting.
Oh,
I'm not able to block this person, and not that I care about what they're saying, but
you just don't need the energy in.
yeah. So the question is, why were they trying to kill us at that time?
Okay, so my theory, because I've always it's almost like Earth. There was like a virus that was on Earth that actually changed Gaia. So a schism. Have you heard of the word schism? Something like that. That was a distortion. But Earth Gaia was so loved that the beings, our beautiful beings that create and that love us, said, we love Gaia too much. We want to see if we can actually devolve this virus, because they've destroyed other planets that have had that schism or that virus come into it. So Earth was given an opportunity to actually see if we could actually rid ourselves, or Earth could rid herself of this virus without destroying her. So that's my understanding. So it was all, I feel it came in quite early
Mhm.
on. And so yeah, so Two of Wands has come up. So this is like holding the world, looking out, making a decision. So I feel that this is where the distortions started to happen, was way back, even within Gaia,
Okay.
from other beings that weren't so keen on Gaia actually being what's the word, working and having this beautiful frequency. Mm.
Okay.
So yeah,
So, let's ask Jazzy, what do you
yeah.
think?
So ask him whether the virus, what was, what question do you want to ask for me to tap into exactly?
Um, w- the why was it specifically, why were we targeted as
Okay, yep.
humans?
Okay, I'm just going to tune in and just see what I get here. Yeah. So what he's showing me is, as Earth was being formed through the etheric, he's showing me that there were beings. I mean, as above, so below. There was still that there was wars, there was things going on in other places as well, and there was almost jealousy. The word jealousy came up as to the perfection of Gaia, of Earth, and power. So there was, and I'm seeing things being instilled that were going to create this distortion within the Earth. And what else is he showing me? Yeah, because they actually, it was known how powerful Earth would be and how powerful the beings on Earth would be through the light. So, and I see them as distortions. You know how, like with a computer, let's say you put in a disk, that's what was happening. There was disks being put in to actually distort the as Earth was being created.
Wow.
That's what he was showing me. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, which makes sense, doesn't it? Because it's like, when we're not well physically, we have to release that from us. And I feel this is what we're going through as well at the moment with these massive frequency shifts and changes. It's shifting and releasing all of that from Gaia, from the energetic
Mhm.
grid lines
Mhm.
of the earth. And so it's like purifying
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and I don't think, my feeling is as well, and I got this when I had a revelation with a really deep, what do you call it? It was toad medicine that I did, that this is all an experiment, because it hasn't actually been done before on a planet where they've allowed this distortion to go through, and for the actual planet, for us to clear it ourselves.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the show, they were mentioning that ancient Chinese connected unusual UFO and comets and the outbreak of plagues. So in Greece,
Mm.
the what was the plague, right? When the plague came in, and they're asking if it was a if it was a curse from the gods or the wrath of ETs that created that plague, that specific plague
In Greece.
in Greece.
Okay, let's just have a look and see what comes up. Wow. Yeah, okay, because the judgment cards come up first and then the page of pentacles again. So today it looks like that's going to be our new plague, our new virus, or whatever it is that's come up. So because it's coming up together. So we've got those two. So yeah, I feel that it was almost like yeah, it was the Empress come up to someone very powerful. There was beings that were very powerful that actually did do this, and then the Ten of Swords. So it was almost as well like death. To me, this is almost like the death card. It's the finishing of something, and then something new begins. So it was like it was done maybe deliberately to clean something out, to finish something off, to kill off. Because I mean, if we look at the beings that lived underground here and loved our energy, that would have been like a huge feeding frenzy for them.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. So do you feel like, are you getting that it was them?
Yeah. I feel it was definitely
The
from
guys like in the tunnels, you
interdimensional.
mean?
Yeah, I feel that they had a lot to do with this as well. And they would have contact with other interdimensional ETs that would be working with them, because so again, we've got our Three of Pentacles, which is something being created, formed, decided on, contract, and then we've got our Eight of Pentacles, so something that was being worked on, okay, to bring into fruition. And then we've got the World card. So this is something that would eventually affect the whole world. But everything changes and transmutes, and that's why there's so many different, I think, ways of people being sick. So yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, they pretty much almost wiped out the human race with
Yes,
this
they did.
plague.
That's the Five of Cups. So that's real grief.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
real grief.
Yeah.
So because I know that if there's meant to be a reset, like a reset to help change the video game. You know how we talk about having different video games.
Yeah.
I really don't feel it would be done like that. It would be much quicker. It would be less painful because the Lovers card has come up, which is working together to bring more balance and harmony. And then the Temperance card has come up. So that would be done from a much different space to what that and the sickness and the illness was. So and remember as well, it is also releasing. If we're sick or something, we're purifying, we're releasing. So we're actually usually then going through an upgrade energetically.
So can we ask if they did it themselves from the fear, or did they do it for population control?
Yeah, let's have a look and see if it was both. So, I mean, because if you have a population in fear, then you can control them, can't you? So, Wheel of Fortune. So they wanted to change the what was happening then and there. So the Celebration card has come up. So I feel, and we're talking about the beings or the outcome, what they wanted from it. So it looks like they actually got what they wanted, because the Ten of Cups has come up as well. So whatever they wanted to have happen, it looked like it happened at that time, for the intention that was put out by the what's the word? The ones wanting the power, wanting the sickness, wanting the emotions. It actually worked.
Okay. So are you getting that it was for population control or for actual feeding of the fear of getting
Both.
fear?
I feel it
Both.
was for both. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're much easier to control when there's less people. And Greece, like depending when that was, but Greece was a really flourishing, continent and culture, and so it depends when it was, but that's what my understanding of Greece was. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so the next one was the Justinian, what they called the Justinian plague in 550 AD. So reports of strange sightings in the sky, glowing gold shields, high concentration of cosmic activity, real dark skies. So almost like if comets would come in and then all the smoke or whatever would make the sky darker because there's so
Yeah.
much like smoke and stuff. So um this is the one where they had mysterious figures spraying something in the air. So was this them once again, just actually out in the air, out for people to see them?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because how was this information gathered from? Was it 550 AD? Did you
AD.
say?
Yeah,
So was there
because
carvings or was there
yep,
anything? There
yep, and
was. Wow.
documented as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Gosh. Okay. Let's just have a look. Wow. Yeah. So this was definitely planned because we've got this little dude's come up, our devil card. And then that what they wanted, Nine of Cups, which is their wishes and desires, was a new beginning or something to happen, to move a situation, because our Six of Swords is when we're moving from one place to another. And then we've got our King of Cups. Now he's a real tricky, he hides things, it's hidden. So and then our Ace of Pentacles. So whatever it was that they wanted to do definitely has come through from that energetic type of being.
Okay. So
Yeah.
do you feel it was the same people, the same as
Yes.
before?
That was my feeling with it as well, as I was
Okay.
actually pulling it. Yeah.
Okay.
They were linked. There's a link.
Yep. 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 Okay. So in 1732, a red orb was seen in the sky and was extremely hot. And right after, a plague broke out
Wow.
once
Okay.
again.
Yep. Okay, so we've got our Three of Swords, which is heartbreak, and it's a red heart. So we're talking about a red orb, which is really interesting. King of Swords, again, that powerful person that can say, yep, let's do this, make decisions, speak words. And then our Eight of Cups. So it's actually walking away. So there was devastation. There was something that's finished, something that they had to walk away from. So it seems with those cards, and I'm just going to pull some clarifying cards, if that was actually what happened. Yep. Wheel of Fortune, and then the Empress card. So it was something that was created, okay, deliberately. So Yeah, it's
Should we look to see if once again it's the same story, the same beings that were
the same. Well,
once
yeah, and it's
again doing the same thing
distortion.
again to us?
I feel it is because when Jasper was showing, when we were looking into it and seeing that, it's almost like the programming that got put in was from those beings that then had access onto Earth because they'd put some of their programming in. So it was, to me, it's just like but they could be working together. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the other thing, that you can have people that work together to create what they want. Yeah, and it can happen quite quickly because we've got our King of Pentacles, someone that's very powerful that can create reality. Got our Ten of Pentacles, so they were actually creating exactly what they wanted, and then our Eight of Wands, so they could do it very quickly. All right,
Wow.
so yeah, so and I mean, you look over all the time that we've had, there's been, as far as we know, there's been quite a few devastating events like that.
Yes. So I know that rats were blamed for the plague, but is that a misnomer that rats carry plague and we've believed it all along up to now?
Don't rats and bats sound similar? When you think about how the bats,
I don't know why it's coming to me that
Mm,
rats aren't as horrible as people say.
I agree with you,
That they
and
carry disease and stuff? I
yeah,
don't know.
it's interesting because because that's what we were told about, a certain thing that's just happened was that take the R away from rats, and what have you got? So it's like, I don't think so. So the Chariot, so it was something, a movement of its own, and the Five of Pentacles has come up, which is desolation, but it's also trying to change something, so from history or from another lifetime. So I believe this is what we've been told, just so they can keep going on and on with the storyline. Whereas our Knight of Wands has now come up, and I feel there's going to be a truth that comes up around this. It might take time, but I really believe that it will change. Okay, so what I've gleaned around things like bacteria, viruses, stuff like that, it's a consciousness level, it's a vibration level. They can't exist in a vibration that is actually higher than what they are. So I don't feel it was rats at all. I feel it was, just
They were blamed, the rats were blamed, but I bet you there wasn't even them. It was
I
just
no,
a space goat.
I agree. Absolutely agree. Yeah, death card. So that was actually it was, and what it's done is it's allowed them to keep going on and on with this 3D perspective of these plagues and viruses and things. So the death card means that it's not the truth.
No.
Temperance card has come up. So I feel that there will be truth that comes through around how this has all been played. And the judgment cards come up. So people are going to have to wake up to what's actually been happening
Oh my
for a
God,
very
poor
long time.
rats, man. They've
Poor
gotten a
rats,
bad rap for how long? How hundreds of years, the poor
hundreds of
rats, and
years.
all along they've done nothing wrong.
I know, I know. So it's true. And really the last 2.5 years have made that perfectly clear, that it's, not even the bats haven't done what they've told us.
Right.
So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm
Oh
getting, and
my
that's what's coming up
God.
in the cards. So yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
So why didn't they say it was mice? Why didn't they say it was, anything
Yeah.
else? But they've
Yeah,
stuck
well,
with
they're
one story.
in the chat, they're saying it was the fleas on the rats, but I still don't think that's even true either.
Yeah.
We can check if it was the fleas on
Yeah.
the rats,
We
but
can check that.
I don't feel
I feel there's more to how things, so the chariots come up again. So, and I was divinating this lot. So the chariots come up again. So it there were things move forward, but how do they actually transfer from one person to another? Is it through consciousness? Is it a whole different way of looking at it that we need to look at it? Because the Three of Wands is looking into the future and letting go of the past. And this is what I'm saying. This is a massive paradigm, because of what we've been told. And what's
Uh-huh.
the truth? Is it simply like when you stand, okay, let me explain it this way. If you're standing next to someone and they're feeling sad, you can actually pick up and start feeling sad. And you go, what is that? You haven't got a virus from them. What's happened? Your consciousness has actually, we're all connected. So our consciousness is actually connected with them. And you're picking up on that emotion through the vibration and frequency. So why do some people get sick and others not? You know, even when they might be as healthy as each other. This is what I'm saying. This could be a whole new paradigm. And I know it's a lot to bring up, but it's
Yeah,
just
so you're
worth putting
saying,
out
so
there.
what you're saying is
Mm.
this. You're
Knight of
saying
Pentacles.
that, yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, so the Knight of Pentacles is bringing something to us slowly, but it's quite trustworthy. So look,
Mm-hmm.
I feel it could be completely different to how we've even been taught and told. So yeah.
Well, Marie, and this is something that I came to the realization once again because of that mushroom trip, is that because once you're done with it, there's more information that like comes to you.
Yeah.
And something that came to me was that even the thingy,
Yeah.
let's talk about the thing that to test, right? To test if you have it.
Yep.
We were told that it has Morgellons, that it has this thing that is going to go into your body. And I'm thinking, I got the hit that that was put into our environment, because if I believe that,
Yep.
it becomes real. The
Yes.
moment I believe that, it becomes real. So now, because some truther put this out there, I don't know who, and I don't, it was like a video on TikTok or whatever. All of a sudden, people are like, oh my God, did you see that video? Oh, it has these little things that walk, that are, you could see under the microscope, and they walk around and da 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 da. And I'm thinking, all they have to do is create some stupid little video saying, like it could be a movie, a mini movie, right? And say, oh my God, look, the sticks have Morgellons in it. And they don't even have to create Morgellons. All they
Yep.
have to do is tell you you have it. And then just by believing it, all of a sudden now, I'm like, oh, I can't go get tested. Oh, and I'm thinking like, wait a minute. All I have to do is go like, well, wait, this is my reality. This is my projection. I don't believe that bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
Test away.
Yep. And I think too, the other issue was if it was done too roughly, it could damage the membrane that was
Right.
up here,
Yeah.
and that was where some of the issues were happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah. So the Ace of Swords has come up as you were talking. So you're saying exactly right. Our words, our thoughts are extremely powerful, and we are creators. And the thing is, the beings that can't create, they know that. So they know our psyche, they know our psychology. So they actually can do that. And I sort of know that when our consciousness is high enough and when we know how powerful we are, anything that goes into us, I feel, can be transmuted. So
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, and that's kind of the vision that I received, or the knowing that I received, was like, none of
yeah,
this is real. None of it. Not even the C19. It,
yeah,
all, all it is basically somebody dropping into my hologram and saying, oh my God, this thing is coming. It exists. It's doing this. And the doctors believe this, and the doctors believe that. Well, when you believe what the doctors believe, you're believing their reality, no matter if the doctor is a good doctor or a bad doctor.
yeah,
So, in
yeah.
the end, because we project our own reality, what it sounds like to me is that these viruses and these things all along were just a mind game.
And I think too, because some people, yes, they got really sick, and it was really hard. But it's also about purification And, you know, if you look at everything that's going on the earth, there's a huge need for purifying and for releasing. And, you know, it's so look, it's really interesting because what came up then again was that Chariot, which is, you know, bringing things through, and the Three of Swords. So we moving into a place of heartbreak again with that manifesting. So if everyone just went, no, this is absolutely not real, not, and kept their frequency high, it would, you know, it might have come through as a cold. If people's consciousness were higher, how, you know, maybe it would have been a very different story. But you know, sometimes we need to burn things off. We need to have a high temperature. We need to purify. And yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it depends.
Yeah. Yeah. So then, so do you know what the Epstein-Barr virus is?
Just my understanding of it is because I really like Anthony Williams, the medical medium. I don't know if anyone's heard of
Yeah.
him. Yeah. And how he explains it, how it can, there's a aspect that can lie dormant within our body, and then it can be triggered at a later age. He talks about the what we used to call the kissing virus or glandular fever, and he said that's one in particular where then it can become like just sit somewhere in the body, and when we have a shock or when we have our body is compromised or something happens, it can be activated. And again, is that our body just releasing toxins and releasing things through something that's activated us. So the Epstein-Barr, I know, causes some people can become paralyzed. They can't breathe. They have all sorts of neurological disorders.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
causes a lot of inflammation in the body.
yeah,
And I wanted to know if this was also something that was created
yeah,
to
sure.
keep us sick.
Yeah,
And this was not part of the ancient aliens discussion, but it just came to mind. I was like, oh, what about the Epstein-Barr, you know?
yeah.
Because literally, I would tell you that almost every person on earth has it.
Oh,
Literally.
absolutely, literally. And it just depends again on where we're at. Yeah. So the first card that came up was the Empress card. So she's a creator. She's so that yes, it's definitely been created. And then the Judgment card has come up. So again, this is people waking up, but it's also something that's getting activated. So remember I was talking about that, you know, when we go through a trauma or if we have a lot of toxins in our body or whatever, then things can be activated. Then the Eight of Cups. And so this is walking away from something, there's been a loss, but you're looking for something that's better. So sometimes those sorts of things make us change our lifestyle, make us look at what are we doing, how are we being within as well. Because I always believe that nothing happens unless in a way our soul goes, okay, let's have this experience.
Right.
So yeah. So again,
Absolutely.
even all of these things that have been put onto earth, we knew as souls that we would have to go through these sort of experiences with the physical body.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So do you okay. So what are you saying that yes, it was created?
I believe everything that was sick was created, and but then again, it's bringing us into a balance. So even though it looks like a bad thing, at the end of the day, it can expand our experience and bring us into a way of understanding ourselves more and being more healthy. So yeah, I do believe that it was created
Okay, by the
again.
same guys, by the ones that
Yeah,
live underground?
anything that has that intention. Yeah, yep. Ace
Okay.
of Pentacles has come up, but
Okay,
then their
was
collusion with others. There, because remember they had buddies.
yeah, so was the intention to keep us sick and to keep us coming back into the um, healthcare system?
I feel that the healthcare system was a secondary thing. It was more the control and the power because that Hierophant's come up again. So it was more control, power. Yeah. And well, that's all just secondary to it, but it is part of the system. You're right. So because the Emperor's come up as well, man, these are really powerful cards. So it's that control, that creating something from that um, place of authority. And yeah, so let me just see. But we're getting beyond that now, you know, like
Yeah.
King of Wands just came up. So look at that, 3 strong male cards, authoritarian. This one to me is the King of Wands is the spiritual one. This is where we increase our frequency, increase our vibration, just trust our bodies, love ourselves. And I feel that can really help in the and some look, you don't get affected. So with things when you can be in that place. But we have to go through sometimes that sickness. So we can use it for our benefit, or we can see it as a really big issue. But it's definitely been inserted as a little CD into the whole platform.
So Craig has a good question. What is a human's natural lifespan without negative interference?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, because we know way back it was said, they could live 800 years. And I was talking about Anna, the grandmother of Jesus. She just popped into my mind, and she would go into caves and purify and use oils and, do ritual to actually help the cells and help her manifest her, the physical health. So I feel a lot of it starts from King of Wands again. So I feel that we can actually make it last as long as we want. Originally, I'm going to use my kinesiology to see what the original, before any viruses, anything came in, when we were in our full strands of DNA and health. Let me just check in to see what the intention was for our natural lifespan.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going through now. So,
okay, very good. And
okay, wow, this is interesting. It's saying potentially nearly 1,500 years.
Wow.
So that's when we're at our peak consciousness, with our DNA completely activated, with our pure earth, with our pure air, pure water. Like, you'd probably hardly at that stage be even you wouldn't be ingesting much food. I'd say it would be very much more that breatharian, or that, really working with consciousness for the physical as well. So I'd say you'd be a fairly high, very, very fast frequency, light being type body.
Okay.
So
Very
that's the
good.
highest potential that I was getting. So
Wow. Yeah. I will say to that, no, thank you.
Yeah. What?
I'm good with 100 years. Okay. I am good with 100 years. That's good enough.
When we've had such a hard time, and we've had so many chemicals and things, put around us and in us, we're not, in that space. But who knows what's going to happen? I always believe in miracles, and that anything can come through, especially with where we're at now and what's changing. So, and you might change your mind when everything becomes really wonderful, Elisa.
We'll see. Okay. So the next thing that they had was that a meteorite strike in Peru got over 200 people sick after impact. And I felt like that one didn't. Was that still the bad guys, or was it just that the meteorite had some I don't know, because they kept saying like meteorites have bacteria from up there, and I'm like, wait a minute, bacteria needs oxygen, doesn't it, to live? Is there oxygen up there? I don't know. So anyway, that's one of my questions: is there bacteria in space?
Okay, so what I was getting with the asteroid is it's the magnetic field that's coming from it that can influence, I guess, our energetic field. Because remember, it all comes back to consciousness and to vibration and frequency. So and so I'm just getting Jasper to show me, and it was like this energetic field that came in with that particular whatever, asteroid or whatever, that then changed that frequency in that area. So, and then people would have been going through purification symptoms, or through something, is what I feel like, because the match was different. Like, there was a different resonance. So that's what I was getting with that. So now, is there bacteria in space? Well, let's have a look and see. What a great question.
I mean, I thought you have to have oxygen for bacteria to live, but we'll see.
So because you've got anaerobic, aerobic, so it yeah, it just depends. Okay, let's just see what our cards are going to tell us. Wow. Mm. So I don't feel there is, because we've got our Wheel of Fortune, we've got our Three of Pentacles. So this is something that's moving through a contract of conditioning. I don't feel that they can. And then our Page of Wands. So this is bringing in something new, some awareness. So I don't feel that there would be bacteria in space per se.
Okay,
No,
that's what I
not with
thought.
those.
And it's like
Okay.
funny because all the scientists, right? All the virologists and all the scientists are saying, well, yeah, these meteorites come with bacteria from space, and that bacteria is getting us sick.
I know. Bats, rats,
Really?
rocks. Yeah, bats, rats, and rocks. Oh dear.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely, there's more around frequency, and that I feel in time. I really feel that there will be a different understanding and awareness around it.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Queen of Wands has come up. So again, she's my trustworthy, intuitive. You know, change things will come through that are truthful.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So the next one is a huge one for me. I had a boss, a manager of mine who I was very close to, and he died. Actually, he didn't die from this, but his family suffered from it. It's called Morgellons disease.
Mm,
I had a client who had it. It is the most horrific.
hmm.
It is the most horrific thing you can imagine. It feels like you have um worms crawling all over you inside, and what they do is they fester and create these huge sores that like fibers,
Mm.
blue red fibers come out. I mean, how can our body create something that's not organic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I really want to understand this disease, like how does it work, like who did it to us, how all this stuff. So I don't know how you want to start, but
Okay. Well, my understand I've watched someone that go through it, and I immediately went, I think I know what this is. Which took a little while actually, because it was so weird and exactly sort of what you're explaining. And and when I researched the Morgellons, it was like, no, no, they're just insane. They just have a mental problem. And I went, no, 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 there's more to this. And so
no,
I
it's
dug
real.
deeper, and it had to do with the trails in the sky. Apparently, there's stuff that comes from them as well that then can affect people. And what's his name? Have you? I won't. I'm not allowed to say his name. I don't think on YouTube. But Gene decode. If
Uh-huh.
he has a protocol for
Yeah.
helping people to release that from them.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it's something that's not natural at all. No. So
Now,
it's just not, and it's devastating. It's just horrific. People go insane. Yeah, okay. So we've got our Star card and our Six of Pentacles. So this is something that I feel has been placed here, has been brought through, and um, it's a side effect of all the stuff that's around, and all the toxins and all the nanites, all of that stuff. Then gets into us. Again, the Ace of Cups. And so this is also our emotions. So it creates huge emotional depression, all sorts of things that go with that. So to me, it's not natural. This has been brought in because that Six of Pentacles is offering something. So I believe it's something that's actually not natural.
yeah. And
Uh,
no, it's for sure not natural.
yeah,
So, okay, so you're saying, so if it was done through the things they put up in the air,
yeah.
how come not everybody has it?
Again, let's have a look where we live. Also, again, our consciousness level and our frequency as well. Some people are sometimes more susceptible to different things. Like we all have different susceptibility. So I don't know. That was my
Mm.
thought when I looked into it. I thought, I wonder if that's why. Because, like I said, some people will get have a certain reaction to an illness or a sickness. It's maybe the same thing with this. So
I don't know, because I feel like most of the world is in a lower vibration. So I would think that most everybody would have it then. I mean, it would make sense that I don't have it because I'm always in a high vibration, but
yeah, but again, it depends on the experience as well that people are to go through. So the Nine of Cups, King of Wands, it's what is it that we're choosing to experience? It's like that's sometimes all it comes down to. And the Nine of Pentacles has come up. So this is uniqueness. So this is a very unique card. So for some people, that's an experience that they actually choose to go through. I mean, yeah, I know it sounds horrible, but again, it comes back to what does our soul want to experience? So it's using everything available to it, no matter what we consider good or bad. And it sucks sometimes, but it's
so it was definitely created. Can we say can we ask if it was created by humans or by the ones
sure.
that live underground?
Let me just check into that. Okay, so this was a technology. Interesting, the same cards have come up, and I just, again, shuffled everything. So I feel it was something new that was created here on Earth, because that Page of Pentacles, again, though, I kept getting the word technology. So it's, again, the humans that have orchestrated this have had assistance to do all this, to know all this, to have the understanding of how that works when you do that sort of stuff, or how the technologies work. So they've definitely been prompted and helped, and this, working with others that already know about these sorts of things.
Can
So
we
the
ask
humans
if
do
it
it.
was can we
Comes from
ask
the
if it
BT.
was AI?
Okay, yep. Let's ask if it was AI. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm getting nanites. Like there's definitely something in it.
Because
Sure.
that's what makes
Yep.
sense to me.
Yeah, there's definitely something in that, because Jasper's going yes. So we've got Judgment and Wheel of Fortune. So that to me is a yes, because it's something that's waking people up. What's coming up to be looked at and judged, and then moving forward. So, and then the Temperance card. So to me, this is very much a yes card. So it's like something. It's also, I feel that there's also help as well to counteract it. So that's why I feel the Temperance card, it's patience, it's having knowing, it's having understanding, it's coming from a higher consciousness. So it's, again, it's being used in a way that helps expand us.
No, I get that. I get
Yeah,
that. All of this is part of,
definitely nanites. Yeah,
but
yeah, again, definitely nanites, AI. Yeah,
yeah, because to me that makes sense
technology.
how it could create something that's not organic. It's like it's got to be some type of technology,
Sure is.
you
Yep,
know?
yep.
Um okay, so then I see there's a lot of conversation in the chat about the sun and how the sun can burn you or not burn you or cause cancer, or so let's talk
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
can the sun give you cancer? Being
Okay.
out in the sun.
Let's have a little look and see. Now, it's interesting because, as well, remember that they've played with the atmosphere. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the sun that's causing the problem. It could be the things that are in the air. So we've got our Queen of Cups, which is contemplating this emotional, because it really is. It's a big thing. And then we've got our Ace of Wands. So I don't feel the sun itself causes the problems. 10 of Wands has come up. So it's something that's finished, something that's beginning, that's new. It's bringing through a completion. The sun, I don't feel, does cause it. It's all the other aspects that go with it that can cause it. Like before everything that was in the air that is there now, look back in time. Did people get
Sunscreen. Can you imagine the cavemen with sunscreen? Oh, I gotta put sunscreen on.
I know. And it's really interesting because innately I got the message. It's like everything in my life. I'm so blessed. I get this innate knowing, don't drink anything, diet, and I had to look up why. Oh my God, it's got this thing in it, like, aspartame, whatever. And then don't do this, don't do that, stop doing this. And I got told to not use sunscreen. And I went, but I'm really fair. That's really weird. Like, and then so what I got was, okay, you can use natural stuff. So if I'm going out on the water and I know I'd get burnt, I would use just some natural zinc and some oil on, the parts that are really susceptible, like my lips and nose. But I haven't worn sunscreen in years and years and years, and I'm now got this base tan for me, and I don't tend to get burnt. It's amazing, and I stay well. So I
So I
don't
have a
know.
question for you, because whenever I go into the sun and I said, I'm not going to get burned by the sun, I literally just say it,
Yeah.
sun, you're not going to burn me. I'm not going to get burned today by the sun. I don't get burned.
Exactly. And what I do is I connect into the great central sun, which is behind what we see as our sun. It's
Mhm.
the energetic force, the cosmic force that comes through. And that's where I connect into. Like, I do my eyes sunning every morning. When you get the beautiful colors coming through, it activates your pineal gland. I don't know if you guys actually know about how to
Yeah.
do eyes sunning. So to me, it's a life force. So of course they don't want us to know that. They don't want this activated. They don't want us to know how amazing the sun is and that we can love it, right? So I don't.
Is that why they created sunglasses?
Yeah, I haven't worn sunglasses. Now, in Australia, everyone wears sunglasses because it's quite obviously we usually get a lot of sun here. So when I was driving a lot for work, I'd always just have it, put my sunglasses on. And then a good friend of mine, he runs the visionschool.org, he said, I haven't worn glasses. He got himself out of Coke bottle glasses, like to be able to see. And he said, I've stopped wearing sunglasses because we need the light. That's the only part of our body where light can actually come through is our eyes. And so I stopped wearing sunglasses probably about 2.5 years ago. And I just never, ever, ever wear them now. Now, if I was going skiing or if I was going to be somewhere where there was a lot of reflection and, you can
Yeah,
get
you're
sort of.
like this and it hurts, gives you a
Sure,
headache.
I would wear something that was protective because that's multiplied and
Yep.
whatever. So it's a
Yep.
different scenario, but I just don't wear it. And to
Yep.
me now, I can't even comprehend putting them on for an everyday use because I know that there's light coming into my eyes.
Okay, so then the cancer, then you're saying is coming from the sun shining through whatever is on the ozone or the atmosphere that has been put there. Do the tanning lotions also give cancer?
Do you know they've actually just brought that out? There was actually something in this one. Someone showed it to me. Something in one of the Australian papers, like a mainstream media as well, and they said that they've noticed an increase in cancer with using that particular sunscreen. So the truth's starting to come out. That was actually in the news, believe it or not. So yeah. So to me, it's Four of Pentacles has come up. So this is a foundation. So that was our catchphrase here in Australia. I don't know if you have it in where everyone lives, but slip, slop, slap. Have you heard of that? So
Mm-mm.
you slip on. I think it's just slip on your hat, you slop on your sunscreen, and you slip on your glasses, slap on your hat, and slop on your sunscreen. So that was what we were taught from children, was to do that. So yeah. So but yeah, I believe the truth's going to come out because our beautiful King of Pentacles has come through, and that's someone that is a bringer of truth. Well, it's already coming out. So yeah, and so I feel that people will understand more how to work with the sun, and how to use it for our benefit.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
definitely stuff in the air, stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not helped.
So then there's been talk about the fact that there are two suns. I know I've heard this before.
Yeah,
So let's
yeah.
check and see what comes up.
Okay. And it's interesting because I only occasionally watch them, but I love them, is the Tartaria Australia. And she just comes up with the most amazing stuff. And there's photos of two suns like all around the world. There's people have captured images of two suns. And it was like, well, and you could see they weren't photoshopped or anything. They were doing a video going from one to the other. Like, it was pretty cool. So if anyone wants to have a look at that, look at Tartaria Australia. They're really, gosh, they've got some great stuff on there. So let's ask and see, is there two suns? Well, I know that we've got what we see as our sun, and then there's the great central sun. So that's a yes already when we look at it that way. But let's see if there's two
Well,
suns.
I think this is just Earth suns, suns that are for Earth
Yeah.
in
Let's have a
this
look and
solar
see.
system.
All right. Oh, okay. That one's really, yeah. It's looking like there could be, but it's hidden because we've got our King of Cups, and he's someone that's a little bit tricky. Oh, where is it? Sorry. King of Cups. He's someone that's a little bit tricky. Something can be hiding under the cloak. And then we've got our Two of Cups. So that's actually two people, two beings working together in a situation. So it's looking like there could be two suns.
Oh, we might have to ask Jazzy to give us more info.
I know.
Oh, what is that all about?
Because we don't see them, do we? It's very rare. These videos, they're from around the world, but there's not a lot of them. I wonder if it got taken out. If, like, you know what I'm saying? The real true sun got taken out. That's fascinating.
Oh.
Okay, let's just see if we can tune into Jazzy and just see if he can give me some better images with it. He's saying it's hidden. It's almost interdimensional, but it does come through. He's showing me, and then he is showing me the great central sun, the energy from our beautiful source, true source, coming through the sun. But there's an interdimensional one. That's what it is, and it can come through. Like, you know how beings come through interdimensionally? Well, the sun can come through interdimensionally, is what he's showing me. So that looks like a yes. Wow.
Interesting. So what's the point of that?
Well, it's obviously been hidden again. Who knows what's gone on, truthfully, we don't even really know how how our solar system truly works. Like, what have we been told? We don't know. It's just, yeah. So let's just have a look and see.
Yeah, let's look and see if we get a reason of some type of info on this.
Okay. Fascinating. It's come up again. So we've got our Ace of Swords,
Wow.
which always tells me that there's some truth in what we're talking about. And then we've got our King of Wands. So this is someone that's very spiritual, master, has done something. And then, that to me is still confirming that there was two suns, because this little one's come up again. So this is saying that something was taken away. Something's been done to change what was meant to be. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a lot more convoluted than we think. I think our whole worlds are just so different. What we
Wow.
even think. So doesn't it make you start asking more questions though, and go, well, okay, what's really going on? So,
Yeah.
what's our history? Ace of Swords keeps coming up. Wow. So there's more questions to be asked. This is about words,
Yeah.
about thoughts, and about finding
Yeah, that's
truth.
what I'm trying to formulate the next question.
Yeah. Is anyone
Um,
asking any apart from around the sun?
no.
Okay.
Let's see.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good that we can ask that.
Okay. This is from Kaibo. Okay. So I said it means the sun was there since the beginning of Earth time.
Earth time, or was it placed in our planet's orbit?
Okay. Yeah, great question. So,
Well, our solar system, not our planet's
solar
orbit,
system. Yeah.
because
Yeah, because, well, who knows? Do we go around the sun? We don't
that's
know.
true.
We know nothing. I know nothing. And once you accept that,
I mean,
you
we
just
thought
go,
the Earth was
"Okay."
round,
Well, yeah.
and
What is it? Is it partially flat? Is it an interdimensional, looks round because of? Who knows? Who knows? I'm open to
maybe
whatever.
Jazzy can show you. Maybe he
Oh,
can give you
maybe,
a
yeah.
visual.
I'll have to do that. Okay. This is interesting because the Two of Pentacles has come up with this question. Has it been there since the beginning of Earth time? So I feel it was a decision that was made from the beginning. The Knight of Pentacles has come up. And I notice they're all Pentacles cards, which are reality, creating reality, or something to do with our reality. So I feel that it was brought through with Earth, because this is a steady, like bringing it as things are created, it comes in. So yeah, and interesting because look at this, the five of wands has come up, which is chaos. So I feel that was exactly what was meant to happen. Maybe there was even two, and then this chaos happened to change it. So I feel it was with us originally, like for whatever reason, we've had some sun of some sort
Yeah.
with us originally. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
interesting. And I mean, I don't
Interesting.
believe it's what they say it is either. I don't believe it's really hot.
That it's hot? Yeah,
I don't believe
no,
that.
definitely. Yeah,
What?
I don't think the
Just
sun is hot.
weird.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know. I mean,
yeah,
people would just go, oh, just crazy. Put them in a loony bin. Like, but these are
yeah,
the sort of why do we even get these ideas, and why do we get these questions? If it is how
yeah.
we've been told.
Oh, okay, Shanna, I missed Shanna's question.
Okay.
Was TB created by the
Oh,
military from vaccine soldiers during and just after WW1?
little one. Okay, let's have a look and see.
I missed that
Yeah,
completely.
interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's interesting. It could have had something to do with that because the Nine of Pentacles has come up, which is something unique again. It's usually abundance, so there could have been a lot of it, and then the Three of Swords. So this is around heartbreak and something that comes through. And then we've got our Four of Cups. So it's something that's being offered to someone, and they're looking down at the Three of Cups. So they're not really interested in it. So it could have been introduced, it could have been offered, given. And, who knows?
And then
TV,
they sold us, then
animals,
from then on, they started vaxing us against it when they were the ones who created it.
Knight of
Yep,
Swords, military. So,
yep,
that's sort of coming into play with your question then,
yep.
there, Shana. So I would say you could be onto something. So, because I remember looking after really rare, because when we all had to have the TB vaccination, because I worked in a hospital when I was very young as a nurse, that was the TB place. And it was fascinating because I wouldn't respond to what they call the Man-2 test. So they gave me another one. I had pus running out of my arm. And then I still wouldn't respond. So my body reacts very differently to vaccinations
Wow.
than most people. And they went, well, we're not going to give you another one. I said, no, you're not, after that episode. And I've never been able to test positive with the Man-2 test to it. So it's fascinating how people respond very differently to it. But I watched there was a lady, she was only in her 40s, and she was in intensive care when I was there, and she had TB. And they said she got it from the horses, and she hadn't been. And I know, and then she ended up dying, in her 40s. So so what they do sometimes is they create the actual VACINE, and then they create the problem from that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's, yeah. Whew. It's a good question.
yeah, for sure.
Looks like it could have been.
Yeah. TB's tuberculosis. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I should have
Uh,
said that.
okay. So, what we were going to do was to see if Jazzy could give you a picture of what the Earth looks like, because
Okay.
all along we thought it was round. Then we asked the
Yeah.
question. Then the card said maybe, maybe not.
Yep. I know. And it's really interesting because I mean, I've been asking this question for a long time, and I haven't tuned in to Jazzy with it because I just forget to do that. So, wow, interesting. So I pulled cards as well. So the Nine of Swords has come up. So this is because everyone's asking it, like, or people are worried, like, why would they tell us we live on a round world if it's not a round world? Or why did they say back in the 16th century it was a flat world, Earth, apparently, and then that they boohooed that. So our celebration card has come up, and our Eight of Wands has come up. So this is getting something quite quickly, getting fast information. So the Eight of Wands can bring through information very quickly and have a change very quickly of what's going on. So I'm just going to, all right, let's tune into Jazzy. Everyone else, you can tune into Jazzy as well and see what you get, guys. This is where it becomes fun, interactive, Jasper time. All right, so I'm just going to tune in. Okay, so straight away he's saying the Earth is a hologram. And he said, therefore, it can be whatever it's meant to be. So there is a flat aspect he's showing me. It's like a, and he's showing me, like a boxing ring. He's showing me like that with posts at the end. So it looks like a boxing ring without the lines and the wires. Okay. And then he's showing me movement sort of around it, so interdimensionally. And so, of course, there's a, it's almost like it's held together etherically. So we have got this 3D tangible, but it's still all holographic. And yet it's a combination of things is what he's showing me. I'm going to just tune in to see how it connects in, like universe, like into the universe, if there's a universe, all of that sort of thing.
So it's not flat, but it's not round. It's neither.
It's a hologram. So it's changeable. So I feel there is something that's solid, like what we would think of as more solid, because he showed me that boxing ring with 4 posts, one on each edge of the boxing ring. So, whether that's where we sort of live is in that arena, but then there's so many other aspects to it, interdimensionally, through realms, that creates its own substance as well. So, this is where it can look like it's round, and because of the hologram that's created. So I still feel it's still a mystery. And he was going, do you really want to know? And I was going, yeah. I was going, well, because it's quite hard. I think it might be quite hard to comprehend as well what Earth truly is. So, so I feel that's probably a really good start. So, yeah, because it's something I've asked for a long time. And I used to think, well, what difference does it make if it's flat or if it's round? But in actual fact, if we knew the truth, then of course
well, we're looking for truth, right?
Yeah,
we're looking for truth. We're tired of being lied to.
It felt too hard years ago. It was almost like, oh, this is so hard. People are saying this with proof. People are saying it's round with proof.
Yeah.
So but I think now it's good time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So then it sounds
I don't know what other people think. So what are other people's thoughts? It's really interesting. It's such an interesting topic, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, half the people are believing that it's round and half believe it's flat. It's
what if it's both?
But it sounds to me like it's both, and also we have been sold. You guys remember NASA has sold us the picture of that perfectly round Earth. That's what they sold us, right?
Yeah.
So, because that's what the picture looks like, the picture they took looks like.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I just noticed when I catch someone's little message, I'm meant to see it because I don't usually look. So Desiree says, I believe it changes with consciousness. Now, I love that because that's what a holograph, that's what we can do with a holograph is as we change and shift in consciousness, that then changes around us. Our reality changes around us. So well said. I like that.
Yep, absolutely. So I think ultimately is whatever you want it to be. You want it to be freaking round, it's freaking round. You want it to be freaking flat, it's freaking flat. Again, we create our reality, so whatever,
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. I think I'll live on flat Earth today, and then tomorrow I might just hang out in the ball.
So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever. Well, it's been fun today.
It has been fun today. Gosh, there's such big questions and such huge paradigms. And I think it's great that we just have an opportunity to ask these crazy questions and just see where they take us. So you might find you get more and more insights for yourself. So like I said, what we're saying, what Elisa and I say and what I get in the cards, this is brought through my perspective. It's my whatever. So just if you don't agree with it, it's absolutely fine. Go and ask for some clarity.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So all right, well, we can talk about the the thing that's going on now, the new scare tactic that has to do with an animal and the pox. And
I
yeah,
shouldn't laugh.
it's so yeah, basically what it is it's just it's a side effect of the thingy, and some people's side effect is those bumps. And now they're
Absolutely.
saying, oh look, it's a new whatever, but no, it's just a side effect for some people that have been double and triple,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
um,
agree. And I really agree with that. That's my absolute agreeing. And look at this, the magicians come up
yeah.
because people don't want to believe that they could have been sold something that would do that to them, that they would
Yep.
come up with these horrible side effects. And
Hmm.
absolutely, they're going to try and hide it for as long as they can and use it. So, but the thing is, it's getting like people know now. People are waking up going,
Yep.
what? Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I
So,
agree. All right, everybody. You have an awesome weekend, and we will
yeah.
see you on Tuesday here in the US and Europe, and we'll see you on Wednesday in
Yes.
Australia.
Yep. See you guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye, Jazzy.
Bye.